Texas residents are not happy with the Trump campaign's stop at the border. Prior to Trump's arrival on Thursday, one resident even came out to tell him that he's not welcome.
Mr. Trump, change your ways, because what you're doing is you're hurting the people that need the most help. Our community, if you were to study the demographics, it's not easy. It's not easy being on the border. And this unwanted attention, this unwanted militarization of our community is unwelcome. You are not welcome.
So that was Jesse Fuentes making a plea that will unfortunately fall on deaf ears, because Donald Trump is not interested in hearing from people at the border, unless, of course, they agree with him, right? And come up with tears in their eyes, thanking him, thank you, Mr. Trump, thank you. Yeah, okay, so that said, he didn't get a lot of that. Some of it, sure, but not a lot of it. In fact, he's not the only one saying, and getting back to Mr. Fuentes, that Trump is hurting their communities, as well of course, is Greg Abbott. And so, days before the visit, the Eagle Pass Border Coalition, a group with 476 followers on Facebook at the time of the writing, said on a post, quote, "The visit has nothing to offer Eagle Pass, and Eagle Pass has nothing to gain from it. Not welcome here, and you know it. Not a leader, but a loser. Not a president, but a contender. Not a rebel, but a threat. Not a friend, but an enemy. Not a patriot, but a traitor." Ooh. Spokesperson for the coalition talked to Newsweek on Tuesday and said that Trump's visit is nothing more than a political stunt, and that immigration is part of a much broader concern that does not include just the United States. In fact, they pointed at the main issue being climate change. Quote, "One country cannot affect climate change," the person said. "We need to address that as a planet. This is the first trickle of what is going to be the largest scale of humanity our planet has ever seen, and we can't fix that problem with World War II era laws." Now, there are other residents that spoke out. One of them addressed water issues as one of their main problems. Water issues, access to water, drought conditions, again, related to climate change, jobs related to, agriculture on the border. Those are the big issues that are facing people on the border, not immigration, not an invasion. Others also blame the federal government for not helping them deal with some of these issues, a lot of these issues, including the issue of funding, by the way. Funding, big problem. So a lot of things, there are a lot of major issues that are facing these communities. And a lot of it could be addressed by Congress if they actually gave a damn. They don't. Now, the governor, of course, is taking the wrong actions as well. In fact, putting up that razor wire actually prevents Border Patrol from doing their jobs. And so they haven't really done anything to help the situation. Again, it's nothing more than a stunt that the residents of Eagle Pass are not exactly thrilled with, okay? That said, Trump, he don't care about any of that. Honestly, this is all political. This is all grandstanding. In fact, one of the reasons that he did so well in 2016, other than running against a deeply unpopular Hillary Clinton, is the fact that he galvanized people on the right wing through immigration, saying they're rapists, they're coming over the border, they're doing the raping, they're all criminals. Well, some I assume are nice people, but criminals and aliens, and so he's running on that again. Now, this is by the way why he told Republicans to scrap an incredibly draconian border compromise bill. Democrats were ready to give that bill to him, which would severely curtail asylum. And so they were ready, though. Like, yes, in exchange for funding for Ukraine, we're ready to do this very, very draconian bill. In fact, Joe Biden is like, I'm ready to work with you, Mr. Trump. So there's that. It always frustrates me when Democrats go to the right wing to meet the right wing position. Because one of two things happen. We get stuck with an incredibly right-wing position, and then Democrats get zero credit for it, right? And then Republicans will turn around and say, oh, look at how terrible the Democrats are. That's usually what happens. or they tank their own bill. Yeah, because, we can't do anything that the Democrats agree with, even if they come over to our side. Now we've got to give it up. But aside from all of that, Donald Trump has been lying about the border. He has been sharing manipulated news articles, like one recent one from Newsweek, where he had left out some polling that wasn't favorable to him. One, for example, a survey that indicated only 50% of eligible voters in Texas said they would trust Trump to secure the southern border, right? Not as high as he would hope. The same poll said 28% of those polled believe the federal government in Texas share equal blame for what's going on at the border. And so, those are some of the things that Trump didn't want people to know. So he omitted those. He cut those things out of the articles before sharing them to his social media platform.
Truth Central.
Yes, Truth Central, right? Where I manipulate the truth. Look, this is the 11th manipulated article Trump has shared this month. Speaking of fake news, by the way, oh boy, when he visited, he claimed that immigrants crossing the border were criminals. All criminals, and by the way, they're all from mental institutions, prisons, etc. Which is news to Laredo Mayor Victor Trevino.
These are the people that are coming into our country, and they're coming from jails, and they're coming from prisons, and they're coming from mental institutions, and they're coming from insane asylums, and they're terrorists. They're being led into our country.
We don't see what he's saying. I mean, this is not the reality. We live and work here. I'm born and raised in Laredo all my life, and I know that this is not the facts.
It's not the reality. True. In fact, a Laredo Morning Times report from October 2023 indicated that Laredo was actually on track for its third lowest total of homicides in a decade, with 5 recorded through nearly 11 months. So, look, that's pretty low in the state of Texas, all right? They're lower than a lot of places in the state of Texas. So, and when it comes to immigrants, remember, immigrants commit less crimes than people that are born in the United States. That's just a fact. All the numbers bear that out. It doesn't mean that immigrants never commit crimes. They're human, right? But it just shows the numbers that they can commit significantly less crime than people who are born here. That's just, again, a fact, okay? So to argue that we've got some criminal alien crime wave because they're all coming over, they're all being sent over here, as Trump alludes to, from the prisons and the mental institutions, the insane asylums, it's just pure fantasy. Designed for one thing, to rile up people who don't even live on the border. Let's be honest, right? The people on the border actually do know the reality. And if you ask them what they need, they'll tell you.